Thank you, Sue. Oh, I mean, Steve.
That's a personal joke.
Thanks be to God. Thank you all for coming. I know you've heard a lot of speeches. This is a really great day because, you know, what separates us from everyone else is our love for the Lord. Mm-hmm. And that is the resurrection. You know, yesterday was Good Friday.
Amen.
I'm not sure why they call it Good Friday because, you know, the Lord died. But it's Good Friday and it's celebrated all over. Today is the other day for mourning. And then tomorrow, he rises. And he rises, and that's why I'm here as well. I see a lot of you here. Some of you heard me before. And I know you heard all these speeches. So let me tell you a small joke, and no pun intended. You know, there's a call at a house. A little boy answers the phone and says, it's the news reporter. He says, something's happening at your house. I need to speak to your parents. Can you get them on the phone? And the little boy says, they're busy. I hear someone else at the house. Who else is there? The fireman is here, and the rescue squad is here. I need to speak to one of them. Wait, I need to find out what's going on at your house so I can report it to the news. They're busy. Wait a minute, little boy. Your parents are busy. The firemen are busy. The rescue squad is busy. What are they doing? They're looking for me. So I tell you that because that's what our government is doing right now. For 6 decades, all we heard was the same old, watching the same news over again. It's like watching a video. You know what the end result was, but you keep replaying that video, particularly on DVR now, hoping for a different result. Well, enough is enough. I can't take it. I may not have the most energetic aspect in saying this, but I can tell you by my deeds and by my works and by my leadership and by the way I serve, that if I take on a task, I will take it from cradle through the process, and it's their process, by the way, through their process, get it completed, and turn it over to the end user so that it will not only function, but it will serve its purpose. And that purpose is you. Each one of you. I don't know about you, when I grew up, I wanted to know about the American dream. I grew up here in Couldn't, Palama, matter of fact. You know, like Diamond. You know, Diamond had a challenging life. I too. I come from a family of 8. My dad, when he worked, we lived high in the hall. And when there was no work, you know, we learned how to take a piece of steak, cut it up, put some water, soy sauce, cut up some onions, make some sabaw, you know, we call it in Filipino, the gravy, cook some rice. We could last that steak for a whole year to feed a family of 8. And that's what we had to do. We had government assistance. At that time, I didn't know what it was called. I just knew that the government helped us. And it was form of welfare. Now, when growing up, I was kind of ashamed. Why was I ashamed? Well, that was something that was given. So I learned the American dream on how to beat them without my fist. But I learned on how to use their policies, their procedures, and turn it around and make it work not only for me, but for everyone else that I serve. I served on the first Couldn't, Palama neighborhood board under Mayor Frank Bassi. And at that time, I learned that by the power of legislation, you can do wonders. I had graduated from Chaminade University with undergraduate degree in psychology with a minor in business. Then I also went to the University of Hawaii with direct commission in ROTC. Got on active duty. I tried to get out of active duty because I had a taste of politics. And I was told, no, stay on active duty. Travel the world, learn about the people, the culture, the economic system. And then when it's your time, you bring all that home. And so for 35 years, I've been away. I served the military, served in combat, served in peacetime. I commanded 2 companies and a battalion. For those of you that's familiar with the military, that's an awesome responsibility. It's like running an organization, but you have authority and you have to have leadership. And you have to train your soldiers to be prepared not only to work in peacetime, but on a moment's notice, you get called up, pick up your weapon, get on an airplane, and go to a foreign country to defend our freedoms. And I did that. And I did that because I had soldiers that believed in them, but they also believed in me. That's what I bring to the table. So where do I go with this? Okay, homelessness. Growing up, we had a choice. So every one of my family members, we worked. I delivered newspapers, I hustled, and everything that we made, we brought it back to the house because that's what we needed to do to survive. Second, it was a shame to be homeless. But today, you know, when I went to Big Island, I went to Maui, went to Kauai, and I went, and some of the people that was following me, they was like, wow, why are you going there? That's the park. The park's got the homeless people. So I went right to the park. I went to talk to the homeless people because I wanted to find out how can they need, you know, what kind of service do they need? Some of them don't want to leave. They want to be homeless. So you can't help them. And then I found out, where are they from? Well, they're not from the islands, because if they're from the islands, they would have pride just like I have, and they want to get help to get off the streets and get back into society. So these are the individuals that's coming from elsewhere. I won't name where they're coming from. As soon as they come in, they know they have a checklist, and they say, wow, let's go ahead, take this checklist, go to these different agencies, and you'll get your government subsidies so that you can get help. Well, that's our tax-paying dollars. If I want to go camping today, and I want to use the park, I would have to go and apply for a permit, and there's a process to do that. And when I get that permit, I'm so proud, I want to get to that park, I want to use that park. But when I get there, if there's homeless individuals at that spot that I reserve, I can't move them. I'll call HPD. They say, well, I'm sorry, can't move them. It's not 5 o'clock yet, and they know the time. When it's 5 o'clock, they know they get out of the park, go to the sidewalk. After that, early in the morning, they leave from the sidewalk, get back to the park. So I can't do that. So that process is broken. Being homeless is not a right. Our tax-paying dollars, your tax-paying dollars, we should be able to use our sidewalks, our parks, and everything else that we have, because that's what we pay for, and that's one of the things that we need to do. Everyone here that's elected, that's running for election, our purpose is to change the status quo. The status quo is broken. We need new direction, we need new leadership to change the paradigm in which we think. I have a plan, if I could, just a tad. Our education system is broken. I went to Farrington, and I'm proud that I was a lower half Kamehameha. But actually, you know, Kamehameha really, most of the time, those that took class at Kamehameha, they came to Farrington because they had fun. And we rock and roll. You know, our motto at Farrington was enter to learn, go forth to serve. Enter to learn, go forth to serve. I've taken that, and that's part of my mantra. You know, I've done that in the military, done that in the private sector. I went around the country designing and conducting counter-terrorist exercises for first responders, particularly SWAT teams. Did emergency management, was a technical evaluator at FEMA at nuclear power plants, chemical stockpile sites. All of these take process, procedures, and it takes leadership to move these things and move that thing forward. Running in government as governor is running a big administration. And it takes leadership, but also a servant of God to take this to the next step so that when we start to move and make this change, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, in the first year, I will work my darndest But I can tell you, I may not satisfy everything that I need. It's going to take at least a minimum of 2.5 to 3 years to move this big thing to change the destiny to make Hawaii affordable. Big island, Maui, in Hawaii. They, looking at them, you think our gas prices are high? I mean, Kauai is even higher. Big island as well. And part of that is that because our local government is not doing what's right for the people. We have a $1 billion tax surplus. What the governor wants to do is give each one of you $100 each. Well, let me tell you, I just go to Zippy, take my family, I'm gone already. Then they go away, and then next thing the legislature says, I want to give you $300. Well, I say, here's what the common sense leader would do. Take that $1 billion as governor, put a line item on it, and just say we cap the cost of gas. Take that $1 billion and invest it into that and pay down the tax. Take the other thing as far as prices going up, take a portion of that $1 billion and play it down so that you eliminate the GE tax. Look at finance. Cut out the way we're doing it as far as getting your taxes. Get away from the general fund. Because the general fund is nothing more than what you say is a big piggy bank for wasteful spending. Look at the way we run our government, and this is the last point I want to make, sir. And that is, think of it as a factory. You got product going in, raw material, all this legislation, all these bills, rather than one bill, they have all these different bills going in. It goes into the factory, a smokestack is going on, smoke is stirring out continually. And what's coming out? 1 or 2 items. And it's not benefiting the people. It's hurting us more and more. So growing up here, leaving the islands, coming back home to retire, with my benefits, I'm having a hard time making ends meet. And I'm saying, why is that? It's because our current status quo, our government, has forgotten about you. They've forgotten about me. Gary mentioned his daughter is leaving. It's kind of sad for that. My brother, retired military, retired government, he's leaving. He's leaving as well. I have other family members that's leaving. And that we need to stop. We need to bring everyone back. I have a plan. I have a team of teams. And on day one, I already know and already started planning that we're going to have a good chance of winning. And I already know who's going to be working in the administration, the Lynn Mariano administration. And we have a plan so that on day one, as we get in, I'm not going to need 6 months or a year to learn this job, because I know how to work this. I've worked with governors in other states, lieutenant governors, Department of Homeland Security, and I know how to do this. And I do this because I have a team that's willing to train me, and with your help, listening to you, I can foster this knowledge, and we can make Hawaii better. So my number one thing is, let's make Hawaii affordable. Do we say we can't do it? Here's something of a thought. In my job, I always hear the word no. You've heard it too. No, cannot do this, right? What no means to me is a new opportunity. Think about it. No, new, full opportunity. And if you fail is not, how bad you fall. Fail, when you break down fail, it's the first opportunity. It's the first chance that you get to learn. So when you fail, just like Isaac Newton and all of the scientists in the past, they failed multiple times. It's not the many times that they fail, it's how they pick themselves up and they move things forward. And this is what we need to do. So as governor, I will be able to work on day one. My team will be here. We will listen to you. Every Thursday evening at 7 p.m., I have a live Facebook. So you're welcome to join me. Tell me what you think. And you can find me at Mariano for governor, F-O-R, governor.org. It's Mariano for governor.org. I thank you for listening to me. Please do me one other favor. Get on your phone. And because one of the things I did in Kauai, Maui, Big Island, and when I get to Molokai, the same thing. As I'm walking around, I talk to individuals, and they said they're not registered to vote. I pop up my phone, and I pull it right there. And it goes to the Oahu election, where you can go and register to vote. That couple of people, I had at least 20 individuals, I registered to vote on my phone while going door to door. You can do the same thing. So take your phone, don't just say register to vote and just pass the handout. Use your phone, take the action, because if they take the literature from you, they may or may not fulfill it. But if you do it right there, they will register to vote. Now, whether they vote or not, that's a different issue, but at least they registered. So thank you for your time. Aloha and mahalo.